and welcome back to my channel. So today is your daily reminder that President Trump is still your president. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is still your president. You know, I had to make a video about this because I have literally been appalled by the false messaging that you see all over social media, all over the news. It's like Biden's president, Biden's team in the White House, Biden's gonna do this, Biden's gonna do that. Even yesterday on Veterans Day, okay, which has nothing to do with who's president or not, okay, President Trump posted a picture of him, saluting the veterans. And I went to go share it from his page directly from Instagram, and it gave me a warning about what the election results are. Like basically to let me know, like, FYI, you're sharing this, he's not the president anymore, okay, which is totally false. I mean, I cannot understand for the life of me how people don't see through this. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? And all of these, Trump won, every single state, which is going to happen anyways, okay? And people are going to lose their damn mind. But can you imagine if it were the other way around, Trump was beating Biden, and all of these clues of election fraud and election interference were coming out in the media? The left would lose their mind and they would put a halt to everything. They would destroy every city in America, demanding that there be a recount. So I find it extremely funny that, you see people like Whoopi Goldberg telling conservatives and Republicans to just suck it up. No, ma'am, we're not going to suck it up, okay? There's nothing to suck up yet, first of all, because there is no decision made. Now, just because the numbers, the false numbers show that that Vice President Biden is the projected winner, projected based on false numbers, does not mean that that is the final result. I want to remind everybody again that back when Gore and Bush were running against each other and that election contested based on one state, based on the hanging chads, I don't know if you guys all remember the infamous hanging chads, that it took 35 or 36 days, something like that, 5 weeks, okay, to get that whole thing figured out. It ultimately ended up in Gore having to concede after he was announced by the media that he had won the presidency, and then Bush did his little acceptance speech, and it was all, officially announced by the Electoral College, which is how we need to wait on it now. Now, I understand people's confusions. In the past, when election night has come, we usually know who the president is at the end of the night. But in this case, it's different. It's different because President Trump knew from the very beginning that because the left had this quote unquote fake virus, it's a real virus, but the enormity that they put it, into or turned it into in the media is fake. Okay. They started with that. Then they started with we have to, everybody has to request mail-in ballots, which has never been done before. The only time people request mail-in ballots is if they're out of the country or they're unable to physically get to the voting booth, which, historically you have to go and apply for that and you have to get approved for that. Kind of similar to like when you get out of jury duty. Okay. And there's a process for that, but some states took it upon themselves to just send out ballots for people to mail in versus bringing it or going to go vote in person. And that's why there was a huge amount of concern over these election results being tampered with, because the more you put a human into a process, the more it is subject to tampering. So because there were so many mail-in ballots, there were people working at the polls, there were postal workers, there were a lot of seasonal employees because, it's that time of the year where you hire people, that don't normally do this type of work. So there's a lot of opportunity for fraud. And just as he called it, it started to happen. Not only did the mail-in ballots get tampered with, but you have dead people voting. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dead people voting, which is crazy to me. Okay. Then you have people that are signing affidavits, like willing to testify under penalty or perjury that they were aware of fraud happening in their area. Some of them even admitted to taking part in it because they were either scared or they were manipulated into it, but realized that they, did the wrong thing and they wanted to speak up, whatever the case may be. I mean, you have hard factual evidence that there was voter tampering involved. So I say that to say that it is extremely disappointing, okay, to see social media and the news act like there's no investigation going on into the voting results, similar to how they acted when we saw pictures of Hunter Biden getting a foot job and smoking on a crack pipe. They just didn't happen. Okay. I wish I could look at my thighs the same way that the media looks at a news or fraud when it comes to their side of the aisle, the left. Okay. So I wanted to put that out there. Facebook is another one. Facebook, they have daily updates where they say, this is your daily election update. And we just want to let you know that Biden, Vice President Biden is still the projected winner for the presidency. There has been no evidence of voter tampering involved or voter fraud involved. I mean, it is crazy how much they are filling your head. And I even have some people comment on some of the stuff that I post, and I really truly believe that they're not seeing some of the stuff that I see, which only goes to show that when I talked about in a previous video about that documentary on Netflix titled, I think it's called The Social Experiment or something like that, where they talk about how social media actually gives you, in particular, information based on what you've looked at before, based on the people you follow, and based on the things that you spend time with. It is 100% possible that some of these people that I sit here just in awe of their ignorance about this whole thing and the fact that they don't even question it, it's 100% possible that they just have no idea what is really going on because they're just not seeing it, okay? You have to remember that people spend about 70 to 80% of their day looking down at their phones, on their Facebook, on their Instagram, on their YouTube, on whatever, social media platform you're on. And if you're on multiple, it is all giving you the same information, therefore convincing you that what you believe, what you have searched for, what you show interest in is what is true. So I encourage everybody, if you are sitting here questioning, why am I seeing one thing on Facebook and then I hear other people posting another thing? Start friend requesting or start following pages that are in complete disagreement with what you believe. If you are a Democrat, follow people that are conservatives. I'm not talking about follow anybody, because just because they're conservatives doesn't mean that they're going to give you good information, okay? But follow other people that are conservatives, good conservatives that are going to give you unbiased information, okay? People like Brandon Tatum, people like myself, people like Anthony Brian Logan or ABL, people like, Jericho Green, he's pretty harsh in his, I love him to death, but he's very, very harsh. And he's a particular type of person that, you either love him or hate him. But, Brandon's really good. He gives very unbiased information. He gives factual information just as I do. And at the end of the day, here's the thing. We want a fair election. We want fair results. Whoever the winner is based on those two things is fine with me and probably fine with every other conservative and Republican. Will we be happy with it? Will we be, keeping an eye on Biden and how he's doing the job as president? Of course we will, just like we did with Trump, because I want to say I did not vote for Trump initially. I was very, very critical of him in the beginning and did not believe he would be able to do the job. But within his first 100 days, he proved me and everybody wrong. And that is what I will do if Vice President Biden gets into office as president. I will be just as critical of him, and I will be supporting him because he is the president of the United States, and I do not wish for my country to fail. I do not wish for my country to be unsafe. So I'm going to support as much as I can, but I'm still going to continue to call him to the carpet and anybody else that works for him when they're doing wrong. So I encourage everybody else to do the same. I encourage you to continue to keep sharing your, your truth. I continue to keep sharing the facts. And if you're not sure about something, ask somebody about it, research it, use search platforms like DuckDuckGo, which is going to give you a more unbiased opinion than Google. I never really use Google because Google is so one-sided. You have to remember that Google is tied to YouTube, and and Facebook is tied to Instagram, so it doesn't matter if you're following on these different platforms, they're all kind of connected. And if you watched the Senate Judiciary hearings when they were, when the CEOs of Google and Facebook and, I always forget the other one. It was Google, Facebook, and Twitter. When they were all being like grilled, by Senate on how they practice like their censorship, they all were pretty much in line, almost as if they got together beforehand and like reviewed what their answers were going to be. So I point that out to kind of show you guys, just open your eyes. Open your eyes and see what is there. Don't see what you want to see. See what is actually there. That is very, very important. Let me know what you think in the comments box below. Do you agree with me? Are you extremely frustrated with all this like different information that we're seeing everywhere? I just want it to be, like I said, fair and balanced and over with. I need a winner to be projected, but I need it to be done fairly and accurately. End of story. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. That reminds me of one other thing. I want to make sure that you guys go follow my new website at letstalkdarling.com. Make sure you scroll down to the bottom and you hit the subscribe button to my website so that you can give me your email information. I'm not going to flood you with emails and I'm not going to sell your information. It's merely just so that we can stay in contact with one another in case I get taken down from any of my social media platforms. You can also go on there and see where else I'm connected. I post my new videos on there. I post articles on there. I post links to my Onyx News on there. So you can see everything you need to see in one spot. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.